we need to talk about the current state of Beat Saber. But before I get into it, I need to preface this video by saying I love Beat Saber. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for Beat Saber. I love the community, I love the modders, I love the mappers, I love the players, and all I have is love for the game and the developers. But Beat Saber isn't what it used to be. In particular, over the last year or so, I've seen a real shift in the Beat Saber community and just general disinterest and frustration with the game. So today, I want to talk about what happened to the game and share my ideas for the top 5 things Beat Saber need to do to fix the game. For starters, I know I personally moved away from Beat Saber for multiple reasons, but so have a lot of other creators, especially the OGs like LS Toast, Tempex, Make You Move, Otterworldly, and of course Bandu. They've all generally stopped uploading or have uploaded way less Beat Saber videos. And as creators, you do kind of get a temperature check on how interested people are in the game. I think it comes down to a level of frustration, boredom, and disappointment. But to understand why people are feeling a bit frustrated with the game and are maybe feeling a bit betrayed, we need to go back in time. To a time where Beat Saber was a fresh whippersnapper VR game that was grabbing everyone's attention, including me, but it was too limited by its PC VR hardware to really go mainstream. But then, the pivotal moment in May 21st, 2019, Beat Saber is launched on the Oculus Quest. Finally, people can play Beat Saber without the extra hardware. And even better, on the 29th of May 2019, Beat Saber announced they're working on support for custom songs. How awesome! We can play custom songs on the Quest without any mods? Or can we? Well, no, of course. Because 6 months later, Beat Saber was acquired by Facebook, aka Meta, which meant goodbye to any modding support. But they did say, "We understand and appreciate the value the modding brings to Beat Saber when done so legally and within our policies. We're going to do our best to preserve the value that mods bring to the Beat Saber player base." But I can't be too mad about it, especially when my modding tutorials have thousands of views, so thanks for that. They did also say in that announcement that Beat Games will continue to ship content and updates for Beat Saber at the same time across all currently supported platforms. Remember that for later. And then over the next few years, Beat Saber continued to release OSTs and music packs, but never much else. But in 2019, they did apparently tease a mixed reality version at Oculus Connect, but then they never added it to the game. Even though this is a feature Meta has been pushing hard on developers for years. And to be honest, it would have been an awesome addition. Oh well. But then finally, in October 29, 2021, Beat Saber teases custom sabers. Finally, some new features for the game, and from the teaser, it looks like maybe even a level up system. How exciting! Or is it? Because alas, they never added this feature to the game, and that was over 4 years ago. I know these things take time, but that's a lot of time. And since then, again, Beat Saber continued to release OSTs and music packs and not much else. And then in May 2023, we saw one of the main co-founders leave the company. Jaroslav Beck created most of the music on the original OSTs, and he left the company stating he wanted to get back into the music industry. But from the looks of it, it looks like he's now working on AI and selling water. And after Jaroslav left, so did the other founders. In March 2024, Jan and Vladimir, the remaining founders of Beat Saber, also left the company as well, stating that they were looking to move on to more innovative projects. And then not soon after, Freak, the game director, left as well. And if you go back to the original custom maps uploaded to the modding sites in 2018, you'll see Freak's name. He was an OG mapper who was then hired by Beat Saber to be an official mapper and then was promoted to the role of game director. And he was great because he's really active in doing developer blogs on their YouTube channel and was really good at engaging with the community when any issues arrived. Sadly, he's moved on and come back to Australia, so I can't be too mad about that. But since Freak left, Beat Saber haven't released a single music pack or OST in 2025. I think they've released like 4 or 5 shock drops this year, which are singular songs at $2.99 USD, and 1 free song by Boom Kitty. Now, I'm no brat who's demanding free content or anything, but that's significantly less content than what we've had in previous years. What's going on, Beat Saber? And to put more salt in the wound, on June 18, 2025, Beat Saber announced they will no longer be supporting the PlayStation VR, which I think is absolutely devastating for the PSVR community, and I don't really play on PSVR, so it doesn't affect me, but to be honest, I'm pissed off on their behalf. If you buy a game, you have an expectation that that game will continue to be supported for a reasonable time. They said there will be no new music packs, no new OSTs, and the multiplayer support will be switched off on January 21st, 2026, which has a lot of people feeling betrayed and asking why. Why would Beat Saber do this? Some people believe it's because PSVR development is too expensive and doesn't make its money back, but Beat Saber is consistently one of the top paid games on the PSVR store and the Quest store. And from an article in April 2023, it claims that Beat Saber has made over $255 million. So to claim they don't have the resources to support PSVR is kind of a cop-out in my opinion. I think something else is going on, and I think Meta just don't want to give PlayStation an advantage. Whether there was a contract to support it for a period of time, or Meta just wants to chokehold the market. I don't know. Regardless, it's a really disappointing decision and people are pissed. But on a positive note, maybe it could mean something else is in the works. Maybe a Beat Saber 2? But I mean, why should you fix what's not broke? But maybe it is broke. They did recently update the game to work with Unity 6, and maybe there's features they want to implement that just don't work on PlayStation. And maybe they're working hard on OST 8. Maybe it's going to bring new songs, custom sabers, and maybe even a level up system. I mean, I sure hope so. I really hope Beat Saber haven't just given up and are just content releasing shock drops and DLCs for Infinity. I'm sure it pays well, but it doesn't do anything to boost the community or encourage player engagement. I think it's just such a missed opportunity for the developers and Meta to not do more with the game. Like in my eyes, Beat Saber is a headset seller. It's a game that people see and go, yes, I need to play that and I'll buy whatever I need to make it happen. And sure, it's an old game, but I think it still has the wow factor. It has a huge replayability factor, and it's a game you want to jump into daily to improve your scores. And isn't that what Meta wants? People buying their headsets and jumping in daily? Which is why I don't understand why Meta isn't leveraging that more. Now, I'm not one to complain without providing a solution. So here's my top 5 things I think Beat Saber should do to reinvigorate life back into the game. Number 1. Actually release custom sabers, like they teased a while ago. They clearly have a prototype somewhere, but must have stopped development for some reason. And maybe it was the PSVR support holding it back. This seems like a really easy feature to add to the game to reinvigorate life back into it. My wish would be that the sabers would be unlockable somehow, like maybe by beating certain songs or even completing a campaign. And hey, I'd even be happy to pay for them. If I could have a badass saber to show up for multiplayer lobbies, I'd happily fork out some cash. And that brings me to number 2, multiplayer. I love jumping into multiplayer, but unfortunately, it's a pretty painful experience. Like, it's always hard finding a lobby, and sometimes it's just slow. Like, I just want to jump in and play. I don't want to wait several minutes for people to pick songs and wait for people to join, and it just kind of ticks over. I kind of just get bored and leave. So I think there's a lot of opportunities there for them to improve their multiplayer. Maybe adding mixed difficulty, or yeah, just improving the user experience so it's not slow. Which brings me to number 3, which some people might hate, but that is voice chat in multiplayer lobbies. Beat Saber has a great community, but I have no way to engage with other players. We've seen how important social experiences are in VR, and I know a lot of people are annoying in voice chat, but you can just mute them. I think allowing voice chat in multiplayer lobbies could really improve community engagement and make people want to play again, because then they're going to form friendships and want to play with their friends. And getting people playing again brings me to number 4, daily challenges. Daily challenges are obvious low-hanging fruit. Pretty much every game has some sort of daily challenge or achievements in some regard, because they know it incentivizes people to jump back into the game. And if they leaned more into the custom sabers or cosmetics, this would be super heckin' awesome. And I really hope this is something they're working on. Like, imagine doing challenges and then unlocking a cool saber or outfit for multiplayer lobbies. I would absolutely love that. And now for my 5th and most controversial recommendation: make the game free. Now, like a lot of VR gamers, I don't like the switch to free to play. But when a game is as old as Beat Saber and funded by Big Daddy Meta, I think the benefits for Meta outweigh the cons. For starters, people would be less reluctant to buy music packs or shock drops because they didn't have to pay for the game in the first place, and it would inject a whole bunch of new players and interest into the game, and it would make multiplayer pop off as well. Meta has shown that free-to-play games are, sadly, the future of VR, and Beat Saber has supposedly made a bunch of money already, so why not make it free in an effort to boost hardware sales and community engagement? Look, I'm not 100% sold on the idea, but it's food for thought. I did say 5 things, but I just thought of a 6. I don't know why they don't hire someone to make more music for the game, like they did originally. Like, they could be pumping out so much more content if they just had a dedicated music person. Like, we don't need pop songs all the time. I'd happily play some music I've never heard of as long as the Beat Saber map's good. Now, I need to re-emphasize that this video comes from a place of love. I love Beat Saber, and I just want to feel excited to play it again. Beat Saber YouTubers who have been making videos for years have never really made a cent from our videos. Most videos get copyright claimed or striked, which means you make no money from them. So I hope that's a sentiment that shows how much we love the game. But if we're bored and viewers are bored, then I think the incentive to keep making videos has kind of disappeared for a lot of us. But I really hope that Beat Saber has something up their sleeve. The PlayStation announcement did say that they are working on the next big leap for Beat Saber, but I hope it's not just another music pack or something. And if they are working on cool stuff, just tell us. Say there's lack of content because we're working on big stuff. A community isn't a community without communication. But regardless, if they never release another update or anything, I still love the game, and I'll still play it if my body lets me, and I'll still be grateful for the game and the community. But that wraps up my little rant. Let me know what you think about the current state of Beat Saber and what needs to be done for it. And in case you didn't know, if you use code Naysy when buying Quest games, it gets you 10% off the game and supports the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully I haven't upset anyone with this video because that is not my intention. But let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next video.